We'll take a look at them, and at number 1 it is Gary Havelock. Havy, well, he scored 7 points at the British final on Sunday, and was certainly not one of his best meetings. A 2 times former winner. At number 2 it is Lee Richardson. At number 3 it is Scotty Nichols, who was beaten in a run-off for 3rd place by Chris Louis, his former teammate at Brandon. At number 4 it is Magnus Zetterström, starting to get some good scores now for the Pirates. At number 5 the British champion for 1999, Mark Lorman, and we really did win it in such exciting fashion at Coventry. At number 6 it is Matej Ferjan. He is starting to reap the rewards from riding in the reserve berth, and it looks like number 7 Justin Elkins, he's just woken up, taking the place of the injured Martin Willis here this evening. For heat number 2, the reserves race, as the start line girls move off the track and leave the stage for the 4 riders. Matej Ferjan, he comes out off gate number 1. Off gate number 2 it is Nigel Sadler off gate 3. We've got Justin Elkins, of course, rides for Reading in the Premier League, taking the place of Martin Willis here this evening from the outside. It is Jan Anderson, the Peterborough captain, as the race gets underway. Anderson, well, in fact, he's got some lift. Ferjan has made an excellent start from the inside, though, and he leads away from Sadler in 2nd place. Anderson in 3rd, and Justin Elkins, we will find it tough here this evening. He's in last place. Of course, he would normally be riding for Reading this evening, but they've got a Stars of Tomorrow meeting at Small Mead, so he's able to race for the club that owns him, of course, on loan to Reading this year. Matej Ferjan it is who leads the way, well ahead of Sadler and Anderson. Peterborough, well, they had a good win over Kings Lynn on Friday night by 59 points to 31. It really was a rather surprising result, a big victory. Jason Crump scored a 12.4 ride maximum. Aaron Giroux scored 6, Ryan Sullivan paid 13, David Hale paid 5, Sam Tazar paid 13, Nigel Sadler paid 9, and Frank Smart guesting for Anderson, who's in the Danish final. He scored paid 8, but it is Matej Ferjan who wins heat number 2 here this evening. 2nd place to Sadler, 1st spot to Anderson, and Elkins at the back, 61.2 seconds the winning time. And we've opened up with a couple of shared heats, but another fine win for Matty. He's starting to go well from the reserve berth. He hopes not to be there too long. And he's very much a favourite here at Wimborne Road. He's only been here a few short weeks. Then for race number 2, and at this one, the reserves race, of course, it sees Matej Ferjan coming out off gate number 1. Off gate number 2 we've got Roman Pavashny. Off gate number 3 it is Roger Lobb, rides for Arena Essex in the Premier League. He's been a bit inconsistent so far at his new track, and from the outside it is Brent Collier, who sometimes has trouble staying on his machine as the race gets underway. Ferjan it is who makes the start. He leads away from Pavashny in 2nd place, Brent Collier in 3rd, and Roger Lobb, well, he's at the back as they come round to start the 2nd lap then, and it is the very much informed reserve Ferjan who leads the way. Paul, well, they were disappointed that Saturday's match was called off due to the weather at Coventry, as the 2 number 7s there come together as they go down the back straight, and Collier, well, in fact, he's fallen under a lot of pressure from Roger Lobb. So a very aggressive ride by the reserve then, coming in as a guest for Paul this evening, replacing the retired Martin Willis. And Collier will be disappointed to have lost out on 3rd place, as Matej Ferjan, well, he really is way out in front of the track. Well, it's very slick indeed this evening. With the weather forecast, they didn't want to water it too heavily, as Ferjan wins heat number 2 comfortably ahead of Roman Pavashny in 2nd place, and Roger Lobb, well, he gets a point in 3rd, much to the delight of the crowd in the main stand. 62.4, that was Matej's winning time. What a start for him. And we can see once more how Roger Lobb and Brent Collier came together, and Brent eventually falling a 4-2 for the home side then. They cut Eastbourne's lead to a couple of points. Race number 7 then, And this heat, well, it sees Mark Lorham coming out off gate number 1. Good victory for him in his first ride. Off gate number 2 it is Ryan Sullivan. Off gate 3 we've got Matej Ferjan, and from the outside Nigel Sadler. So 3 race winners from their opening rides come together in heat number 7 then. What's going to happen? And Nigel Sadler, of course, we got a paid victory behind Ryan following Scott Nicholls' engine failure. Heat number 7 is underway, and Mark Willie's made a very good start indeed, and he leads from Matej Ferjan coming around the outside, and when now he moves through in the first place, Mark Willie will be trying to shield his young teammate. Third spot it is Ryan Sullivan with Nigel Sadler at the back. So Paul, they're starting to find some form at home here now this evening as Ferjan leads the way. Needs to get his average up above 5 points, and we're very close towards the safety fence there, and when the netting was blown up on that first turn, just how close the Hungarian got to it, to the fence, and when again he's going out wide, and again up goes the netting with a lap to go. It looks like it's going to be a 5-1 for the ZX1 Pirates. Now they ride at Eastbourne tomorrow in a televised meeting, their first time on TV, as Ferjan, well, he wins heat number 7. Second place goes to Mark Lorham, shielding him all the way home. Third spot to Ryan Sullivan, a 5-1 for the home side, then 61.7 the winning time. And Paul, now they take the lead for the first time this evening by 4 via Matej and Mark. On to race number 14 then, and this one where we see a change in yellow and black. It is Ronnie Corrie coming out to replace Chris Manchester. But an unhappy night once more down here at Wimborne Road. Off gate number 1 it is Jason Hawkes. Haven't seen a lot of Jason this evening. Off gate number 2 it is Matej Ferjan. There is Corrie off gate number 3, and from the outside it is Magnus Sederström, who's had a fine meeting this evening. So heat number 14 is away, and well, in fact it is Ferjan who's made a fast start, and he leads out of the start from Magnus Sederström coming through in second place. Ronnie Corrie, well, he has not made a good gate at all, and he finds himself at the back. That's a major surprise. The technical substitution, well, it's definitely not working in heat number 14 as Ferjan leads the way then. Could be heading towards his second win of the night, and Magnus Sederström, well, it looks like being a big score for him. He certainly has come back to something like his best form here this evening as Ferjan leads the way then. And well, he's had another good night. He's had a couple of lasts, of course. He had a last in that exclusion as well. But it looks like he's going to finish off with another victory as Jason Hawkes goes out very wide indeed. But Corrie, well, he's a pale shadow of his usual self around this circuit as Matej wins heat number 14. 2 points for Magnus, one to Jason Hawkes, none to Ronnie Corrie. 62.9, that was Ferjan's winning time. And Paul piling on the points now. They've opened up a 20-point lead. Coventry, where they failed to score in that race. Sean Tacey had a defective silencer, so his points do not count. It's 12 points to 11 to Paul. They move into the lead. Scott Nicholls, Matej Ferjan, Greg Hancock and Sean Tacey are the 4 riders in this one. Rider replacement out in for Tacey, who hopefully sorted out his silencer as the race gets underway. And well, it is Ferjan who leads the way from Scott Nicholls in second place. Greg Hancock, well, he's only back in third. So a 5-1 possibilities for pull here, but here comes Hancock on the inside of Nichols. It's not often that Scott's overtaken, but he is been here by the former world champion. Greg Hancock moves through into second place, managing to split the ZX1 Pirates, and well, now he's chasing hard after Ferjan, the Slovenian, who's enjoying a great spell here this season. Rode for Bellevue last year, of course, and he was sent packing after 6 weeks. Found it very tough indeed, but John Perrin, well, I'm sure he wishes that he'd persevered with him a bit longer, as he's having a great season here, averaging over 6 points per meeting, and well, he's leading former world champion Greg Hancock in Coventry #1 as they come round to take the checkered flag. It is going to be Matej who gets a great win. He takes the checkered flag in front of Greg Hancock. Third spot goes to Scott Nichols. He'll be a bit disappointed, haven't been past there. 60.2. That was Matej's winning time, and no wonder he's going to get a great reception. Certainly deserves it. And well, let's see how Greg Hancock came through into second place. Out of the start, you can see, and well, it was a 5-1 for the home side, but it didn't last because a brilliant cutback on the inside by Greg Hancock sees him come through into second place. He's had too much speed down the straight for Scotty, but Greg really could not catch Ferjan, collecting his first points of the meeting. And well, the Pirates flags are being waved. Great reception for the pool #4. Race number 9, and this heat, well, it sees Matej Ferjan coming out off gate #1. He had a good win in his last ride off gate #2. It is Billy Hamill, just 1 point from his first 2 outings. Off gate #3, another tactical substitution. Oh, well, that's off gate #4. Brian Anderson replacing Scott Robson off gate 3. We've got Scotty Nichols, who's had a bit of a quiet meeting so far, just 2 points for his 2 rides. Heat 9 is underway. Scott, well, he's got some lift as they come towards us, all pretty tight, but Ferjan has got the run into the first corner, and he leads the way as they go down the back straight. Here comes Nichols on the outside of Billy Hamill. Brilliant piece of riding that by Scott, and he's moved through into second place. Billy Hamill in third. Brian Anderson, the tactical substitution, he's at the back. But it's all about the ZX1 Pirates in heat number 9, and this will move into a 13-point lead. And it certainly looks like they're going to go through to the semis, where it's looking likely they're going to face Coventry. So we're going to see plenty of the XIBs here this season, as Matej Ferjan, when he's leading his second race in a row. But what a pass that was by Scott Nichols, coming out of the second turn. Ferjan, well, after that first race last, he really has been electrifying. He wins his second race in a row. 2 points goes to Nichols, 1 to Billy Hamill. Billy, well, he's close to the other riders, but he's still only been able to get to a couple of third places. Matej, well, he gets the win, but a fantastic ride by Scotty. We can see again how he came through into second place, getting past the 2 Coventry riders, both Grand Prix riders, of course. Scotty, well, he's a wild card for the British Grand Prix. That's going to be a big occasion for him. 60.7 the winning time. Paul, well, they've certainly taken control now. Matej winning his second race in a row. Paul on 9 points, then Ipswich on 15. And this race, well, it sees Gary Havelock coming out off gate #1. Rider replacement outing for him off gate #2. It is Savalas Cloughton off gate 3. We've got Matej Ferjan, and from the outside Chris Louis. So Gary, of course, well, he's already met these 2 Ipswich riders in heat #1. Getting second place behind Luby. He's got the advantage of the inside gate position this time around. Chris Louis is going to have to try and make it from the outside as heat number 5 is underway. And Havelock, well, he's made a pretty good start, but so's Matej Ferjan off a 3. And well, in fact, it is the 2 Paul riders are in first and second. Chris Louis only back in third, and Savalas Cloughton, well, he trails in heat number 5. As Ferjan, well, this is a better ride by him. He failed to score in his first ride. He's been winning a few Rider of the Night awards down here at Wimborne Road of late. He really has been in great form, even since he's moved back into the main part of the team. He's been scoring heavily, a couple of laps gone. and it is Ferjan who leads them from Havelock in second place. Chris Louis in third, and Savalas Cloutin tailed off in this one. A 5-1 on the cards for the home side. Then it's be their first heat advantage of the night, and will bring them to within just 2 points after 5 races. As Gary Havelock leads on the inside, here comes Matej Ferjan around the outer, and in fact it is going to be the civilian who wins it from Gary. Third place goes to Chris Louis, not far behind on that final lap. 60.3, that was Matej's winning time, and that's got the crowd going. A 5-1 for Paul then. Ferjan back to the pits quickly. Well, next outing, in fact, not till heat number 9, but straight back for him and Javi. On to heat number 5 then, 12 points apiece, and this race, well, it sees Scott Nichols coming out off gate number 1. He hoped to do better than he did in his first ride, where he failed to score. Off gate number 2, it is Ben Howe. Off gate number 3, we've got Matej Ferjan, and from the outside, it is Chris Louis. Just waiting for Chris to come up to the line, going through his pre-race routine as he does before every heat. And it looks like we're ready now as the race gets underway. The scores are level. Chris Louis made a pretty good start from the outside, but it is Matej Ferjan who's made a better one, and he leads away from Scott Nichols in second place. His former teammate Chris Louis guested here for whole this evening. He's come through in the third, and Ben Howe, well, he's at the back as they start the second lap then, and it is Ferjan who leads the way. What a good start to meeting. He's had a race winner first time out, and he's leading the way in his second ride as well. A couple of laps gone. And well, it's a 5-1 for Paul then. This could give them a 4-point lead. Matej, well, he scored paid 6 at Kings Lynn on Friday. He had a race win in his third outing, and we've had 5 out of the 7 Paul riders did have a victory that night. And well, then the following evening he went on to Coventry. He scored 5 points in that as he wins heat number 5. He scored 6 points already so far this evening, maximum 6 out of 6. Second place goes to Scott Nichols, better ride by him. Third place to Chris Louis. Ben Howe, no points at the back, 61.2 the winning time. And that's the first 5-1 for Paul this evening, and well, that gives them a 4-point lead. Still a long way to go if they hope to collect the extra point on offer this evening. Good sized crowd here this evening, as you can see. 1 or 2 wearing the Southampton Saints race jackets also. Now I suspect they might be the football shirts from Southampton football team. Heat number 14 then, and well, can Paul get the extra point? They're 1 behind so far, so even a 5-1 would mean they could still lose it in the final race. Let's see what happens. Heat number 14, this race which sees Ray Moulton off gate number 1, off gate 2 it is Magnus Sederström. Off gate number 3 we've got Paul Smith. Hasn't scored so far from his 2 rides, not unexpectedly really. And from the outside it is Matej Ferjan, who's had a couple of race victories. As heat number 14 gets underway, Zorro has made a great start off of 2. He leads the way, and here comes Matej around the outside of Paul Smith, and he's moved through in the second place. And Paul will staging a late surge here for the bonus point, and well, it looks as if they could be moving into the lead on aggregate by 3 points with 1 race remaining, as the Paul number 4 Matej Ferjan leads the way from Magnus Sederström in second place, who made his best start of the night. Ray Moulton, he's moved through in the 3rd spot ahead of Paul Smith, but Hull, well, it doesn't look as if they're going to score the bonus point here unless they can get a 5-1 in the final race, as Matej Ferjan leads the way, a lap to go. Magnus Sederström still in second place, and Ray Moulton, who started off a meeting well with a couple of second places. He ran a last in his previous ride in heat number 10. It looks like he's only going to get a 3rd in this one, as Ferjan and Sederström do the business in heat 14. A 5-1 61.1, that was the winning time, and that means Paul moving into a 20-point lead on the night, and more importantly 3 points up on aggregate. Matej winning his 3rd race of the night. What a good season he's having now. And we are going to see some fun and games at the start line from he and Magnus. Well, Matej, he's going round on a lap of honour, pulling a wheelie. And number 3 then, and this one, well, it sees the first rides for Craig Boyce off gate number 1, off gate number 2, Matej Ferjan off gate 3. We've got Steve Johnson from the outside, Scott Nichols as the race gets underway, and Nichols from the outside has made a good start, and so's Matej, and he leads the way as they go down the back straight. Here comes Scott Nichols attempting to find a way past Craig Boyce on the outside, and he's managed to do so. Boyce is the former Pool number 1 captain and all-time Pool top scorer. He's only back in 3rd place as Matej Ferjan, well, he leads the way then from Scott Nichols in 2nd place, and Craig Boyce will only stay in 3rd place. Hasn't been a vintage season for Boyce again this year. He struggled last season here riding for his home track Pool, of course, and well, this year he's averaging around about 7.5 points per match, which is what he was last season. He has dipped in form by nearly a couple of points over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Former world number 3, of course, but he's in 3rd place in this one as Ferjan, well, he comes round to win heat number 3. 2nd place goes to Nichols, 3rd spot to Craig Boyce. He was disappointed with that one, with Steve Johnson at the back of 5-1 for the home side, then so the deadlock is broken. 59.2, that was Matej's winning time. And well, after failing to score at Wolves on Monday, he's bounced back well with a victory here in his first ride. The scores from that meeting: Mark, he top scored with 14, Gary scored paid 9 from 4, Lee scored paid 8 from 4, Scott scored paid 11, Justin Elkins came in, he just scored 1 point, and Magnus, we scored paid 12. A good talent performance by the inform reserve. And Matej, well, he's won heat number 3 in convincing style. And we're having there is Scott Nichols as well. Neil Middleditch, the team manager, just congratulating the pair of them. 5 then, 14 points to 10 the lead. And this one, will it see Scotty Nichols off gate number 1. Off gate number 2 we've got Jan Steckman, off gate number 3 it is Matej Ferjan, and from the outside it is Todd Wiltshire. So this pairing for Paul, who scored a 5-1 in heat number 3. What can they do in race number 5? It's going to be hard against the Intercontinental Champion Todd Wiltshire as the race gets underway. And in fact Matej Ferjan, he's made a good start, and so Scott Nichols, and they're in 1st and 2nd once more, with Todd Wiltshire in 3rd, and Steckman, well, he's at the back. So this pairing, as we say, had a 5-1 in their opening race together in heat number 3, and well, they could be getting another one here as Matej leads the way then from Scott Nichols in 2nd place, with Todd Wiltshire not making up any ground back in 3rd. A couple of laps gone. Todd, of course, who's booked his place through to the Grand Prix Series next year following that victory here a few weeks ago. He's struggling a bit. He hasn't been going that well. In fact, in the aftermath of that victory, he's had 1 or 2 indifferent meetings. His average, well, he thought it may be a bit higher. Of course, it's been a tremendous comeback by him following those very serious back injuries that he sustained in the early 90s, and well, he's on the comeback trail. His average, well, it's just over 8 points per match. Would have thought it would have been perhaps a touch higher than that. He only gets a point in 3rd in this one, as Matej wins the race from Scott Nichols in 2nd, 60.8, that was the winning time, as the ZX1 Pirates, well, they double their lead to 8 points after 5 races through this pairing. And well, another huge crowd has turned up here. The crowds will really have flocked back to Wimborne Road, celebrating with Matej after that win. Heat number 9 then, 29 points to Paul, 19 points to Kings Lynn. And this one, well, it sees Matej Ferjan coming out of gate number 1, engine failure in his last ride. Off gate 2 it is Lee Adams. We know what happened to Lee in his last outing. Off gate number 3 it is Scotty Nichols, unbeaten after his first 2 rides. And from the outside, Travis McGowan, who, although he hasn't scored too many points this evening, showed up pretty well. Heat number 9 is away, and well, so is Travis McGowan's front wheel. He got some lift out of the start. Matej Ferjan, well, he's made a good gate, and Scott Nichols, well, he's come around to join him at the front with Lee Adams only back in third. And McGowan, well, he's at the back once more, but it is Scott Nichols and Matej Ferjan. They really are a very good pairing indeed, and well, they head the way in this one. Well, surely this will put paid to any hopes that the Knights had of claiming overall victory here this evening. It looks as if the Pirates are going to be racing against Coventry in the semi-final of the Knockout Cup. Ipswich, well, they are the holders, of course, and well, they're almost certainly going to be dumped out of it by Peterborough, who won by 2 points at Ipswich last night. As Ferjan, well, he just holds on the second place ahead of Lee Adams. Scotty Nichols, of course, he was riding in place of Thomas Gollab in that meeting. And well, he scored paid 8 from 4, but not doing it, certainly not doing as well then as he is this evening. He wins the race in a time of 60.8 seconds. Matty joins in for a 5-1, and that puts Paul 12 points up overall. 14 then. Paul on 51, Kings in on 27. And this race, well, it sees Shane Parker coming out off gate number 1, taking his programme ride off gate number 2. It is Magnus Edderstrom. Off gate 3 we've got Paul Lee, and from the outside Matej Ferjan. May well have been unbeaten again this evening if it wasn't for that engine failure in his second outing. Heat 14 is up and running and out of the start. Edderstrom and Ferjan lead the way. They've got plenty of 5-1s in this race so far this season, and this could be another one as Magnus leads the way. Here comes Matty around the outside, and he moves through in the first place. Shane Parker in third and Paul Lee at the back. Kings in. Well, they certainly seem to be a bit dispirited now with the tie already been lost, but it is the Slovenian who leads from the Swede. A couple of laps ago, the Australian in third and the Englishman at the back. As Parker goes out wide, but no way past the team riding pair of Ferjan and Edderstrom. 1 lap to go, and it's been a very comfortable victory for Paul at the end of the day, as Matty wins heat number 14 from Magnus. Third place to Shane Parker. That gives Paul a 28-point lead with the nominated riders race to come. 61.4. That was Matty's winning time, and well, in fact that's his first victory of the night. A paid win for Magnus. Well, what are the pair doing? Well, I don't think they can hear that. Well, the crowd enjoying every minute of it. Oh, steady on Magnus and Matty. Great stuff in heat 14. On to race number 14 then, and this could sew up the bonus points. This race, well, it sees Paul leading by 45 points to 32, and Thomas De Pinker, when he comes out off gate number 1, off gate number 2 it is Craig Watson. Off gate number 3 we've got Tony Sparb coming out as a tactical substitution, replacing Danny Bird, and from the outside it is Craig Watson, who's, well, in fact it is Matej Ferjan, of course. So just waiting for heat number 14. Paul leading by 45 points to 32. 6 points up overall. 3 points we're good enough to get the bonus point as the race gets underway out of the start. Craig Watson's made a good start. And we're back Matej Ferjan when he's gone back first into the safety fence. Plenty of spills here this evening. We'll take another look at that one. And well, let's hope Matej's okay. Didn't seem to be any contact between here or Tony Svab. And well, all four of them back in the rerun. And Neil Middlewich, well, he's not too happy with that decision. I think he feels that Tony Svab should be excluded. And well, there is Scotty Nichols, his arm in a sling, as you can see, having a few at Clive Fisher. And well, let's hope that Paul's season is not going to be decimated with injuries. Magnus already out for the season. Not looking good for Scotty. Matej, he's still down on the ground. And well, in actual fact, Matej, well, he is back to his feet. That's a good sign. So hopefully he'll be taking his place in the restart of Heat 14. Indeed he is. There is off gate number 4. Svab off 3. Off gate 2. It is Craig Watson from the inside. Thomas Topinka as the race when it gets underway once more. And Topinka is who leads from Craig Watson. Here comes Matej Ferjan, and watch the speed he's got as they go down the back straight. And with a brave ride by the Slovenian, picking himself up and dusting himself down after that spill in the first stage of this race, and he now leads the way in the rerun. And this could be the 3 points that Paul required to collect the bonus point in Heat 14 this evening. Thomas Topinka in second place, Tony Svab, the technical substitution, in third, Craig Watson. Well, he either seems to win races or have last, but it's been a great night by Watto nonetheless as he attempts to find a way past Tony Svab. And it looks like he may have come through in the third spot, or has he? No, there's not. Svab bites back again on the outside. And well, this time though, Craig Watson does come through as Svab locks up. More exciting speedway action here to see when it certainly looked up to its billing as a top of the table clash as Tony Svab, well, he retakes third place. So exciting battle for third. Craig Watson, well, he's attempting once more to find a way through as they come in and take the junior flag, but Svab, well, he just holds on from Watto. Again, more brilliant speedway action. The fans, well, they really are treated to some exceptional speedway here this season. 61.5. Matej's winning time. The bonus point is one for Paul. Congratulations to them as we're taking a look and see how it came about. This really was another quite exceptional race to watch here as Tony Svab has made a good gate, but Matej Ferjan, when he cuts back brilliantly on the inside, finds a way past Svab, finds a way past Watson, and well, then finds a way past Thomas Topinka as well, and he moves through into first place. That was where he stayed. Tony Svab and Craig Watson, well, they had a terrific tussle for the next 3 laps though, as Watto, well, he closes in on Tony Svab. Thomas Topinka, where he got some lift down the home straight there, but here comes Craig riding the inside line. He comes through in the third place, but Svab bites it back again on the outside, but he locks up ever so slightly, and Craig was able to come through to get third place. But then Tony, when he hits back once more, what a scrap for the odd point it was. And as the checker flag was being waved for Matej, it was still nip and tuck for the third place. And Watto, he just fails on the line, but it's a 3-all. The points are safe for Paul. Well done to them. 61.5, Matej's time. And well, things certainly worked out well for Matej over the last couple of races. Well done to him. Another rider who's a firm favourite here. And well, just the nominated riders race to go then. All issues have been decided to race number 14 then. And with a match sewn up then for Paul, can they collect the bonus point? And with another 5-1, if he can get it in this one, we'll do it for them. This heat, well, it sees Jesper Olsen off gate number 1. He's had a very good meeting indeed. Off gate number 2, it is Andreas Jonsson. He's struggled badly off gate 3. We got Matej Ferjan. Not been one of Matej's best meetings, just 1 point from his 2 rides. Substituted in his last outing, and from the outside it is Sean Tacey who's come out to replace Scott Robson. So heat number 14 then is underway, and out of the start Ferjan has made a good start off a 3, and he leads away from Jesper Olsen, who sends Sean Tacey out wide. Andreas Jonsson is in third place, and Tacey will ease at the back, so a 5-1 for Paul then, and this could sew the match up for them, and it would also give them bonus point of course, and it keep them on line for the first title for several seasons since 1994 when they won the old First Division title as a couple of laps have gone, and it is Ferjan who leads the way then from Jesper Olsen holding on to second place. Andreas Jonsson back in third with Sean Tacey, where he's worn out. I think this is his 7th ride of the meeting. He's at the back, but it is Ferjan who's going to get the victory, and Jesper Olsen, who's had a cracking meeting, he's going to get the second place, which means Paul are going to collect all three on offer this evening. They're going to move top of the Elite League table for the first time in their history as Ferjan wins the race. Then 2 points goes to Jesper Olsen, 1 to Andreas Jonsson, 61.2. That was Matej's winning time. And well done to the ZX1 pilots this evening. They've come on strong as they often do over the last few races, and they are victorious. They now lead by 49 points to 35. One race remaining. Matej coming good in the final heat.
Once again, Peter Collins and Tony Millard.
The action is certainly hotting up. A few nerves there for Mark Laram, who has a vital key to success in this heat for the visitors from Poole. This is heat number 5. It's Matej Ferjan, who suffered that wrist injury first time out for Poole, goes on the inside. Stefan Andersson, who had to walk home half a lap in his first ride, goes from gate 2. Mark Laram, who fell first time out, goes from gate 3. And Bo Brahel, well, he won his first race. He's the foreman at the moment. That's the lineup. This is heat number 5 here at Saddlebow Road, now known as the Norfolk Arena. Our starting marshal Nick Brown walks away. Mick Bates releases the tapes and away they go. And look at that on the inside, because in yellow and black Matej Ferjan picks it up, and coming through in red is Stefan Andersson. Round the outside goes Bo Brahel, and Kings Lynn are in front, leading 5-1 if it stays like this. But Mark Laram is battling to come through in second place, and Mark Laram will give them no time whatsoever. Look at Mark Laram in the white helmet colour. He's trying everywhere. They're trying the team riding. They've got to block him out, and Mark will go through them in a minute short. Oh, he's overcooked it, and Mark Laram is down. Could that be the hopes of Paul of winning the Elite League that tumbled in a heap on that bend? Because Mark Laram was the key to their success. Our referee is stopping it. Mark Laram will be excluded from the rerun. I'm absolutely certain as the prime cause of the stoppage, the rider in white. And now, well, maybe tactically with Matej Ferjan at the back, that might not have been a bad move by Mark Laram, I'm sure, PC.
Well, Mark was really struggling in that race. He didn't seem to be able to get him past. Mark has been excluded. He is off back to the pits. He is trying so hard, whether the pressure's getting to him. We can see that there. He's trying that big blast around the outside, all or nothing, and down he goes. Just lost it in that deep stuff on the outside, and very unfortunate for Mark, because we've seen him really doing some fabulous things this year, and certainly that's not one of them. He loses it there, entering the turn, does all he can to hold it. Even at the last minute, he's still holding on to the handlebars, but I'm afraid, Mark, you've finished for this race. You're excluded.
Well, with the referee having to stop that one, Matej Ferjan was the back. He could not improve upon that. Maybe a gamble for Paul to see if Matej Ferjan can make it away from him, but here the action thick and fast, and that man with the yellow helmet colours, Matt Ferjan, is the key to this one for the Poole Pirates, because he's on his own following the exclusion of Mark Laram. And the men he's racing against there, in the red helmet colour, Stefan Andersson, and in blue, Bo Brahel. Ferjan from the inside, Andersson from gate 2 for Kings Lynn, Brahel on the outside. A little bit of team riding here from Kings Lynn, and this will be another 5-1, but Ferjan has work to do, and he really needs to make it from the start.
Yeah, there's a lot resting on Matej Ferjan here. There's only 6 points in it. He can hold this together if he can get a good ride in this one. He's got to cover for the excluded Mark Laram.
Well, Matej Ferjan has got to produce perhaps his ride of the season to give them a chance of winning this title, and away he goes. He does make it from the gate. Bo Brahel lifts. He's at the back. Round the outside goes Stefan Andersson. He's out of it, and Matej Ferjan is producing the goods for the Poole Pirates here. And Matej Ferjan, well, it was also different from first time out, and if the Slovenian champion, the 22-year-old from Ljubljana, can hold it here, he could be playing a very, very big part in his Team Poole winning that league title.
Yeah, you know, Matej's always a bit up and down. He can have a bad ride, finish last, then he can go out and have a win. It looks as though this is the one that he can win. He's got it in the bag right now. If he can just keep it together for another couple of laps, this is going to be 3 very valuable points for Poole.
Condition of this track getting better and better. At the back, of course, those two riders, Stefan Andersson in red and in blue, Bo Brahel almost tailed off now, because Ferjan, with just over a lap to go, is going faster and faster. The track looks to be getting better and better, and I just wonder whether this will benefit the visitors from the Poole Pirates. But Matej Ferjan in yellow, if he takes the checkered flag here with some 50 metres to go, will do it ahead of, in red, Stefan Andersen, in blue the disappointing Bobrahel. That's 3 points apiece the heat score. It's now 18-12, and Poole are hanging on with a vengeance, and the 22-year-old Slovenian there made it from the gate, held them off, raced well, and what a truly brilliant ride to keep his team in contention.
Yeah, Matej did it from the start. He made a brilliant start. We can see there he's taking the acknowledgements of the crowd there. Fantastic win for him, for the Slovenian rider. Brilliant riding. This is the start. He's on the inside start position there in the yellow helmet. He dropped that clutch first. You can see he moves absolutely perfectly. There's lots of grip right there on the circuit tonight. It is so grippy out there. It's still pretty damp. The air's damp. The track's going to stay damp. But he led round that first turn, and he had 10 yards lead coming out of that first turn. What a perfect first corner start again. We can see that perfect start. On the outside, Stefan Andersen looks as though he's in the hunt on the first turn, but he tries the wide line, realises that Matej's just going like a steam train, and Matej probably just couldn't believe how well that he made that first turn and just pulled away.
Well, the steam train analogy, I think he meant more like a jet-propelled aeroplane there, Matej Ferjan, the Slovenian, because he has now put Poole well and truly back in this. It's 18 points to Kings Lynn, 12.
Well sorted out. I think he's changed bikes. I think he's on his number 2 bike now. That bike looks totally clean. He was having problems, I think, with that bike he rode earlier. So whether this bike is the one, but we know Mark can come from behind. He's probably the best rider in the world at overtaking the riders out on the track. And if anyone can do it, Mark can. And it's going to be so interesting to watch this.
Well, there in yellow and black is Mark Laram. He goes from 15 metres back. He's not allowed to creep, of course. They have to work out exactly where he goes from. In fact, they are trying to mark it out. They haven't marked the 15-metre mark. And, well, they're just looking at the moment. Peterborough lead by 20 points, 34-14. Here it's Kings Lynn 25, Poole 16, a 20-point margin down the road in the East of England showground. But here, this man, Mark Laram, holds perhaps the key to the Elite League title from 15 metres back. He need his teammate, who's the rider in white, Matej Ferjan, going from gate 2. He will have to hold the other two up. Mark Laram will try to come round, and the best they could get would be an 8-1, and that would really turn the meeting on its head, because at the moment there's a 9-point difference between the two sides. That man in the blue helmet colours there is Travis McGowan. He goes from the inside. Mark Laram there in the yellow helmet colours goes from the outside for Poole. There's the lineup. Travis McGowan on the inside, Matt Ferjan in blue, Robbie Kessler in red from gate 3, and Mark Laram 15 metres back from the outside. Our styling marshal moves away, Mark Laram watches from the back. Oh, a chance, Kessler rears, Laram will have to make ground. Ferjan's in front, Ferjan should try to hold them up, but he's going for it. Mark Laram will have to make ground, and is already. Mark Laram making ground at the back, cuts through on the inside, a truly brilliant ride. He's by 1, he's taking on the second one. His way is being blocked by Robbie Kessler. Mark Laram goes round the outside. He's being held up. Matej Ferjan is way in front, but it's going to happen in a moment. Mark Laram will come through, and then Ferjan will have to let him get first place if they're going to count the maximum. Ferjan will have to make way for Mark Laram with a lap and a half to go. Matej Ferjan down the back straight in white. Mark Laram in yellow. It's 5-1 as it stands at the moment. A bonus point for Mark Laram, but with a lap to go, his teammate has now got to make way for him. Well, Matej Ferjan sees what's happening. He's looking back. If he does the right thing, Mark Laram will get the double, the 6 points. He's going to get it. There's drama here. Mark Laram looks back. Mark Laram takes the checkered flag in white. Will get 6 points for that. Matej Ferjan will get 2. In third place in red. That is an 8-1, the best possible they could get from a tactical substitution. It's now 26-24, and in one short heat the whole meeting has changed. It's turned on its head here. What a brilliant ride, and there at Peterborough they are sick of that, and that is the Peterborough team manager Jim Lynch. He must be furious with what's happened here, but look at the way they've done it. And Neil Middleditch, the Poole team manager, has produced the stroke of the season, but from the start it was important. Laram was out of sight at that point.
Well, we see why Neil Middleditch saved Mark Laram there from that early race, because the first time we've seen that done here, fantastic from Mark Laram. He had all that ground to make up, but Matej Ferjan really played his part. I really felt that Matej was that far in front. He hadn't realised that Mark was with him, but Matej's got a 20-metre lead now on this first lap, but Mark Laram already has got those boys at his sight. Already on the second turn there, he goes past Travis McGowan. He's chasing now.
Heat number 7, Paul on 15 points, Peterborough they're leading on 21, and this race, well, it sees Mark Lorham coming out off gate number 1. Off gate number 2 it is Ryan Sullivan. Could be a good race between those two. Off gate number 3 it is Matej Ferjan, and from the outside David Howe, who failed to score in his first ride. As he said in his interview with us, it's been a good year for him. The riders, well, they're getting ready to come out to heat number 7 is underway. Sullivan off a 2 has made a fast start. Mark Lorham most certainly not, but so's Matej Ferjan. Look for him, he's come round the outside, and he now leads the way from the rider in red. That is Mark Lorham, who's come through in the second place here. Ryan Sullivan in third, and David Howe at the back. So some good riding by the ZX1 Pirates pair on that first lap, as they could be closing to within just a couple of points after 7 races, as Matej Ferjan leads the way just to third place in his first ride, having been in a good position. He's in a great position in heat number 7. He's leading the way from his teammate Mark Lorham and Ryan Sullivan, who scored a paid maximum in that World Team Cup final in Powder Beats at the weekend, with David Howe once more in last place. A 5-1 on the cards for Paul. It's going to be their first of the night, and they're going to close to win a couple of points as Ferjan wins it from Lorham. Third place does go to Ryan Sullivan. Matej with his winning time 60.2 seconds. We can see again how both he and Mark came through in the first and second. Well, we can see again as the riders come out of the start, and Ryan Sullivan, well, he lost his way somewhat here. Matej Ferjan took him on the outside, and Mark Lorham came through on the inner. A 5-1 for Paul then. Now just trailing by 2. The riders were out for heat number 14 then, and this race, well, it sees Andreas Johnson coming out off gate 1, off gate 2 it is Matej Ferjan. There is Lee Richardson, he's off gate number 4. Sean Tacey, he's off gate 3. Tried his hardest this evening as the reserve. Heat number 14 gets underway. Out of the starts, well, it is Matej Ferjan who leads. He's had 3 lasts in a row, but it looks like he could be finishing on a winning note. He leads from Johnson in second place, Sean Tacey in third. Lee Richardson, well, that's a big surprise, he's at the back. He had a couple of wins and a couple of third places so far as the World Under-21 champion. He's in last place. Sean Tacey has come through into third, in the second spot. Andreas Johnson in third. Lee Richardson, well, he's still at the back. There isn't too much passing this evening. Normally, of course, we do have some excellent speedway racing here at Wimborne Road. Have done for a couple of seasons now since they've reshaped the track. As they come round to start the final lap, it is Ferjan who leads the way from Sean Tacey in second place, and Andreas Johnson, well, he's still in third ahead of Lee Richardson. It looks like it's going to be a return to the thrills, and Ferjan, well, he's been the busiest rider this evening alongside Billy Hamill. He wins his 7th ride. Second place goes to Tacey, third spot to Johnson. Lee Richardson, a surprising last for him, 61.5 is winning time. 1 race to go. Paul still lead by 8 points. On to heat number 8 then, and the scores that you can see level at 21 points apiece. This heat, well, it sees Matej Ferjan, he comes out off gate number 1, he replaces Oliver Allen. So Neil Middleditch bringing the changes in the reserve berths. He's Matej off gate number 1, off gate 2 it is Maranjou, off gate number 3 it is Lee Richardson, rider replacement out in for him, and from the outside it is Nigel Sadler. Nigel, of course, will he finish third to Lee in the World Under-21 final in Voyens. Berry just calls Sadler up to line. Heat number 8. Green lights on, the race is underway, and with a great start by Ferjan from the inside. He really did make a fast one, and he leads away. And Lee Wilson, is he going to come through in a second place? Not at the moment. As Mario Giroux, he just had the run around the outside. Lee Wilson, he's in third, but he's struggling as the rider in white, Nigel Sadler, he's come through in the third place now. So it is a 3-all in heat number 8. Ferjan it is who leads the way. Lee Wilson, he seems to be underpowered this evening. He won't be at all pleased with the way that he started this meeting. He's at the back as Ferjan, well, he's still out in front. Having a good meeting is Matej. After last in his first ride, he had a win, a second place. It looks like he's going to get another victory. This will be his 4th race in the first 8 heats. A lap to go, and he's out in front from Giroux in second place. Nigel Sadler in third. Lee Richardson struggling on his bike. He's at the back in this one. It's going to be a shared heat, our 4th of the meeting, as Ferjan wins it from Giroux. Third spot does go to Nigel Sadler, who came past Lee Richardson, 61.2. Matej's winning time, and he's going to come round on a lap of honour. And we're still nothing between these two sides. A very popular addition to the heat number 4, 8 points to 4. The NRG7 Select lead over Trent Select, and this one, well, it sees Lars Gunnestad coming out in red. In blue it is Matej Ferjan. Matej, he comes out off gate number 1. Off gate number 2 it is Glenn Cunningham. Off gate number 3 we've got Lars, and from the outside it is Lee Richardson. So it'll be interesting to see how Lars goes this afternoon. Still rides on the continent, but hasn't been in these shores for a couple of seasons already. Got a bit of a nudge there from Lee Richardson, but it is Lars' teammate this afternoon, Matej Ferjan. Well, he was in the lead, but Glenn Cunningham has come through on the inside to move in the first place. But watch it for Ferjan, he's moved through now into first place. Cunningham in second, Lars Gunnestad is in third, and Lee Richardson, well, he's at the back. It's great to see Lars racing the Wimborne Road circuit once more as they come round to complete the second lap then, and Matej Ferjan it is who's out in front. Poole, of course, well, they had a very busy final week of the season. They went to Peterborough on Tuesday in the Craven Shield semi-final second leg. They only held a 4-point lead from the first leg, and they went down by 14 points to go out by 10 on aggregate. Mark Lauren top scored with paid 14, Lee Richardson scored paid 13, Gary Havelock scored paid 7, and Matej Ferjan, well, he scored paid 8. And Ferjan, well, he's got off to a winning start here in race number 3. Second place goes to Glenn Cunningham, third spot to Lars. Lee Richardson at the back, 62.5 the winning time. Matej, well, he wins. He had a good win here in heat number 3, but well, then at Peterborough on Thursday night in the second leg of the Speedway Star Knockout Cup fight. We understand, in fact, he's had a puncture on the M27. He's been riding a grass track meeting this afternoon up in Kent, and well, he's dashed from there down to here, but he's had to delay that, so they're going on with heat number 6. And this one, well, it sees Lars Gunnestad coming out in red, Matej Ferjan in blue, in white it is Gary Havelock, in yellow back Sean Wilson. As the heat, well, it gets underway, and out of the start again, Ferjan from the outside. He's made a great start and he leads away. Lars Gunnestad is attempting to find a way past Wilson, but Sean Will is holding him off at the moment. Gary Havelock, well, he's in last place. That's a big surprise as Ferjan leads away at the end of the first lap then from Sean Wilson in second place. Lars Gunnestad is in third, but he's gone out wide, and Javi, well, has he come through into third place? It looks like he has, but Lars is fighting back again on the outside. A couple of laps gone, and well, it is still the Slovenian who's out in front from Sean Wilson in second place. In third spot, Lars Gunnestad, well, he's pulling ahead slightly now over Gary Havelock as they come around to start the final lap. And well, Matej Ferjan it is who leads the way. So it looks like it's going to be a 4-2 for the NRG 7 Select. And this would move them into an 8-point lead. As Matej makes it 2 wins out of 2. Second place goes to Sean Wilson. Third spot to Lars Gunnestad. Doing well to hold off Gary Havelock in that one. Lars, or rather Matej's winning time 60. They come out for heat number 9, number 11 on the programme, but number 9. We understand in fact that Malcolm Simmons has now arrived and he'll be having a match race against Michael Lee after this race. As the riders come out for this one then, we've got Craig Boyce coming out off gate number 1, unbeaten after his first 2 rides. So's Matej Ferjan, he comes out in blue. Off gate number 3 it is Paul Lee from the outside. Lars Gunnestad, heat number 11 is underway, and Ferjan it is who's made the gate. He leads the way from Craig Boyce coming through on the inside. Boyce and Gunnestad of course, well they were a couple of great riders as a partnership, and Boyce it is who leads the way once more. Lars Gunnestad is Matej Ferjan rather attempts to come back through on the outside. He's managed to do so. Gunnestad on the inside. What cracking speedway shall we got here this evening now, as the 3 riders will align the breast going down in that back straight, and it is Craig Boyce now who takes up the lead from Ferjan in second place. Lars Gunnestad in third. There's nothing between the riders. They start the third lap. Ferjan it is who retakes the lead. What a great speedway race this is. Craig Boyce has come back through. And he's back in second place now. Lars Gunnestad in third with Paul Lee, where he's getting a great view of all the changing places that are going on in front of him. They start the final lap then, and well, it is Matej Ferjan who looks like he's going to get his third victory of the meeting. He leads the way from Craig Boyce in second place. Gunnestad not far behind. It's going to be a blanket finish as they cross the line. Gunnestad, well, he finishes back in third. Boyce gets second. The win goes to Matej Ferjan. But what great speedway action we've had here all season, and today is no exception. Matej Ferjan wins his third race of the meeting, 62.7 his winning time. We must take another look. And well, this really was quite exceptional speedway. You can see here out of the start it is Ferjan who makes the gate, but Boyce, who's on quick machinery in this farewell to the Millennium Challenge match, he comes through into first place. But the Slovenian, well, he's just had a bit too much speed for Boyce there. Lars Gunnestad, well, he was always in the thick of the action. Craig, well, he comes back through on the inside of Ferjan and he retakes first place, certainly the race of the meeting so far. And with Lars Gunnestad, he was getting in on the thick of the action, but then here comes Ferjan once more on the inside. He retakes first place. Lars Gunnestad, it looked like he was going to come to the second, but Boyce, he just managed to come between the 2 riders. And well, it ended up as a 4-2 for the NRG 7 Select then, and they move further into the lead now by 30. Ben Hale coming out off gate number 1, off gate number 2 it is Thomas Topinka, off gate 3 we've got Alessandro Milanesi, off gate 4 it is Thomas Stradler, off gate 5. In fact, it is not Josh Larson, he's not here, he's the first reserve in from the outside. It is Matej Ferjan. Radek Smolak is the rider in place of Josh Larson, who's not here for this qualifying heat out of the start. And well, it looks as if it's the Slovenian Matej Ferjan who leads the way. Indeed, he's out in first place from Topinka in second spot, with the rider in red Ben Howard, he's holding on to third place ahead of Thomas Stradler. Thomas Stadler from Austria. A couple of laps gone. And when it is Ferjan who still leads the way, has had a fantastic season with Paul this year in the Elite League in Britain. And will he set himself a home? Thomas Topinka, big favourite here, a former winner of this title. He's in second place. Bit of a race going on for third between Milanesi and Ben Howe. Ben, who hasn't seen too much speedway action this year, having been dumped by Ipswich after a few weeks of the season. Thomas Topinka, ironically enough, took his place as they take the checkered flag. The win, well, it goes to Ferjan. His good form continues. Second place, well, that goes to Thomas Topinka. Third spot to Milanesi. In fourth place it was Ben Howe. In fifth spot Smolik, the reserve, and in sixth place Thomas Stadler. They come out then for heat number 7, and this one, well, it sees Alessandro Milanesi off gate number 1. Off gate number 2 it is Thomas Strada. Off gate number 3 we got Josh Larson. He didn't know that he had to ride yesterday, that's why he didn't make an appearance. Matej Ferjan, he was the winner of course yesterday. He comes out off gate 4, off gate 5 Ben Howe. From the outside Thomas Topinka as heat number 7 gets underway, and out of the start with Ferjan again. He's made a good gate and he leads the way as they go down the back straight. Thomas Topinka, he's come through into second place. Milanesi, he's having a good ride in third. Josh Larson, will he need to do something? This being his first out, and he's only back in fourth place. In fifth it is Ben Howe, and Strada, well, he's a bit outclassed here this afternoon, is the Austrian. He's in last place, but meanwhile out in front it is Matej Ferjan who leads the way, and well, this will put him on 10 points, and we may well be missing from his last ride. Josh Larson, we're certainly going to have to do something in his final outing if he's going to have any hopes of qualification. Meanwhile, Ferjan, he's going to book his place into the quarterfinals. He wins heat number 7, second place. Well, that goes to Thomas Topinka. Steady start for Thomas, 2 second places. Third spot, well, that goes to number 15, Alessandro Milanesi, with Josh Larson only back in fourth place. That won't be good enough for him. In fifth place, Ben Howe, and Strada, well, he was at the back. On to race number 23 then, and this one, well, it sees Lee Adams, well, he's not coming out off gate number 1. He's already made it through. Off gate number 2 we've got Matej Ferjan. Well, he's got no chance of making it, having failed to score from his first 2 rides, but coming out for another outing. Off gate 3 it is Robert Dados. Off gate 4 Tony Ricardson. He should be through. He's on 8 points so far, but wants another ride. Off gate number 5 it is Ronnie Pedersen. He's desperate for a win if he's going to stand any chance. And from the outside, Amanda Castagno, well, he could also do the race victory. And we're the very charismatic start marshal, pulling Ferjan up to line. Looks like we're ready now. Heat number 23 gets underway. We already know Lee Adams is through. Who's going to join him? Matej Ferjan. Well, in fact, he's made a good start. And as they go down the back straight, he leads away from Ricardson in second place, with Dados in third. Robert, well, he needs points if he's going to make it through. Here comes Amanda Castagno around the outside. The dirt, well, it's moving out now. We're seeing some great racing, as we always do here, of course, at the Czech Golden Helmet, as Ferjan, well, he leads the way from Ricardson in second place. Castagno as he's through now in the third spot ahead of Robert Dados, and this could see him through at the expense of Dados as they start the third lap. Matej Ferjan, he had 2 last, and then he pops out at the start and he's leading the world champion Tony Ricardson in second place. Rico, he's going to make it through. It looks like Amanda Castagno is going to join them as well as they start the final lap. Then Ferjan it is who leads the way. Ricardson in second place, Castagno in third, Robert Dados in fourth, and Ronnie Pedersen, well, he's also going to go out at this stage as Matej, well, he wins heat number 23. But that's the last we'll see of him this afternoon. Second place goes to Rickardson, he's safely through on 9. Third spot to Amanda Castagna, he goes through on 7. Lee Adams also, of course, goes through on 9. Dados finishes on 5, the same as Ferjan. And Ronnie Pedersen, he finishes on 3 points. And we're just one more quarter-final race to come up, heat number 24. Start line then for heat number 4. And this one, when it brings to a close the first lot of rides for the competitors this evening. And this one, when it sees Amanda Castagna off gate number 1, off gate number 2 it is Adrian Rimmel. Off gate number 3 we've got Zolia Dorjan, and from the outside it is Matej Ferjan. So Slovenian, a Czech, an Italian and a Hungarian in this race, certainly a cosmopolitan heat number 4. As the referee releases the tapes out of the start, and with Ferjan from the outside has made a fast one, and he leads away from Castagna in second place. Adrian Rimmel in third, and the Dorjan, well, he's at the back. But it is Ferjan who leads away. Rode for Bellevue last season in the Elite League, but was dumped after a handful of matches. Signed by the ZX1 Pirates this year and has done extremely well in their colours. Part of the side that almost won the Elite League title last week. Just going to Peterborough. As Ferjan, well, he's riding well here in heat number 4. It looks as if the Marquetta Stadium track is to his liking. As he comes round to start the final lap, he's built up a big lead over Dorjan, over Castagna rather, in second place. And Adrian Rimmel in third, of Dorjan, well, he's tailed off at the back. As Matej Ferjan, well, he's going to take a very easy checker drag indeed. Easy winner, 2 points to Amando, 1 to Rimmel. And the Hungarian, well, he's some distance at the back, but the Slovenian, well, he wins heat number 4. Not sure if there's be too many fellow Slovenians in the crowd here this evening, but I'm sure there's a few Pool fans. Delighted for Matej, winner of heat number 4. Well, it certainly was an unlucky 13 for him in that one. Fine victory for the youngster. Here comes Adrian Rimmel. Pretty snazzy leathers he's wearing, as you can see. Amanda Castagna, perennial visitor here. Chestnut on his leathers. And well, there's Zolia Dorjan. Bad meeting for him, bad race, first race for him. And we're deep in thought is Tony Rickardson. And well, everyone looks pretty enthralled with the entertainment going on between heats. And well, they really do know how to put on a good show here. Said earlier at the Marquetta Stadium. And well, it looks like a Spice Girls routine to me. And well, there's the gentleman we saw earlier with his flag. He's out there. Oh well, hopefully he's going to put that away before the start of the next race, because they won't be able to see the heat. The riders, as the heat is about to get underway. And this one, when it sees Matej Ferjan, he comes out for his second ride in a row. He's off gate number 1. Off gate number 2 it is Hans Nielsen. Off gate 3 it is Tony Rickardson, and from the outside it is Simon Cartwright. So Simon, well, he certainly knows he's going to be in, he'd have been in a race after this one. 2 world champions past and present off his inside, and also Matej Ferjan, the established Elite League rider. And well, the riders are taking their time here. But it looks like we're ready for heat number 5 to get underway as the race starts, and with Tony Ricardson off gate 3, he leads from Ferjan in second place. Hans Nielsen, he's only back in third, and Simon Cartwright, well, he's at the back. But it is the current world champion Tony Ricardson who leads the way from Ferjan, having a good race in second place. Hans Nielsen is trying to close it in third. It looks like it's going to be another win for Ricardson. Matej Ferjan in second place, plenty of shout down as you can see, always is here at the Marquetta Stadium. We've seen some very entertaining meetings over the years. But there's no passing going on in this one. The riders are at how they have been from the start. Tony Ricardson, he's going to win his second race in a row. Second place is going to go to Matej Ferjan. He'll be delighted with that. Third spot goes to Hans Nielsen. Simon Cartwright at the back. So 2 wins out of 2 for Tony. 11 or 12 points to definitely see him through to the grand final. And well, he's halfway there after 2 races.
Tak to tady nebude mít ani takovou jednoduché. Jeden jediný bod byl v této jízdě. No a to s vodu angličtí mladíček Simon Cartwright, to je tady bilancem jako